Welcome back to the Workplace Survival Guide, the podcast helping you navigate the sometimes treacherous waters of professional life. I'm your host, Max, and today we're tackling a super common but often frustrating issue, when your boss clearly plays favorites. And joining me today is Liam, who I know has dealt with this firsthand. Welcome, Liam.
Thanks, Max. Yeah, it's so disheartening, you know? Like, I feel like I work just as hard, if not harder, than some of my colleagues, but somehow, they always get the plum assignments, or the boss just seems to, inherently trust their ideas more. It's pretty frustrating, to be honest.
Absolutely, Liam. That feeling of being overlooked or undervalued, especially when you see someone else consistently favored, it can really chip away at your motivation. And it's important to acknowledge that feeling. It's totally valid. But the key here isn't to just stew in that frustration, right? It's about figuring out how to navigate it strategically without losing yourself in the process.
But how do you even do that? It just feels like you can't change your boss. It feels impossible to break into that inner circle, if that makes sense.
Well, you're right. You can't change your boss, but you can change how you react and how you approach the situation. First, try to understand the why behind the favoritism. Is it about performance, personality, or maybe even skills the other person has developed? For instance, I once had a manager who always picked the same person for client-facing roles, and it turned out that person was just really, really good at public speaking, something they had actively worked on.
I guess I hadn't really thought about it that way. I just assumed it was totally arbitrary or just, because they play golf together. But what if it is just a personality thing? Or they just click more?
Even then, Liam, you focus on what you can control, your own value. Make sure your contributions are visible, that you're proactively offering solutions, and that you're consistently delivering high-quality work. It's about building your own professional brand, independent of who the boss might be currently chatting up. You can't control their preferences, but you can control your output.
So, instead of just grumbling to myself or complaining to colleagues, I should highlight what I achieved on that last project. Or maybe volunteer for a task that shows off my unique skills.
Exactly. And then there's strategic communication. You could, for example, ask for feedback on specific projects you're interested in, or simply express your desire to gain experience in certain areas. It's about framing it positively, rather than coming across as, jealous or confrontational. And sometimes you just have to accept that some dynamics are beyond your control and protect your own energy.
That makes sense. So it's less about trying to force the boss to change their mind and more about managing my own actions and my own professional development, regardless of what the boss is doing. It's about being proactive.
Precisely. It's a long game, Liam. Your professional reputation and your skill set are your ultimate assets. Stay professional, focus on your growth, and remember that favoritism often runs its course. Or if it doesn't, you'll be well equipped to find an environment that truly values you. That's all the time we have for today, Liam. Thank you so much for sharing your perspective and for joining us. For all our listeners, remember, your career journey is about you. Tune in next time for more tips on surviving and thriving in the workplace.